Hi, I'm the Fly Fishing God. I'm here to show you how to tie the pheasant tail nymph. This pheasant tail nymph you do not have to put a bead head on it, but I am going to. That's why I have this hook upside down. The bead looks like this. This one is, probably you can't see it that well. Let me see if I could zoom this in, so maybe you could see it better. It is just it's a cone shape. I have it on a set of hackle pliers here, but it's just a cone shape, and the smaller end of the bead is going to go next to the eye of the hook. So I'm going to take and set the hook in the, well, actually what I'm leaving it like this right now so that you could see me actually put this on. You want the little end to go on first, so that that little end goes up next to the hook eye. Now I'm going to take and tie the hook on the way it's supposed to be, or put the hook in the vise the way it's supposed to be. And you can see that cone-shaped bead head right there. Let me drop this down. There you go. This requires, this particular nymph calls for brown thread, so I'm going to put that on. We want the bead to be right up top there, and we'll start tying it right on. Just tie it right, keep wrapping the thread right around the hook all the way down to the bend of the hook. And then you can bring it back. I always snip the thread off, the excess thread. You don't need to, but I do. Just to me it's a little cleaner. I try to rip it off, and sometimes I screw my threading up a little bit on that. Now this requires the pheasant tail, and this is ring neck pheasant, and what we want is a few of these for the tail, just a few of these barbs here. Oh, I'd say 5 or 6, and we'll just take and snip that off. Like so. Set that down. And you want the tail about half the length of the shank to stick off the end of the hook. So we will put it right about there, and I'm going to tie this starting up front here, and I'm going to tie it all the way back so I've got it on there securely. We're going to bring it back up front. This excess here, I think I'm going to tie this right in so it's closer to the bead head, to try and hold that in a little better so it doesn't keep slopping around on me. And then I'm going to trim this excess barbs off. We're going to, it needs a copper rib, so I'm going to put a piece of copper on. Just, it's thin copper, real thin copper wire, and you don't need much of this at all. I do use a different pair of scissors for wires so it doesn't dull my scissors for the feathers. And I am going to tie this up front here. Just give it a couple wraps. And we're going to pull it back. And then we're just going to tie all the way back to the bend again. Just keep wrapping. I'm going to set that down there. And then I'm going to take some more of these barbs on this ringneck pheasant feather, and I want them fairly long because I'm going to wrap them up so far on the hook. So we'll take 8-10 of them. And I'm going to trim them off. I got a hold of them. I'm going to trim them right off close to the quill of the feather. And we're going to tie these, the tips, the very tips right in the back here. Secure them down fairly well. That's why. Now, that's done. This is going to get wrapped around. I also want, we're going to start wrapping this now. And you just wrap it like this. One wrap right in front of the other. If you overlap a little bit, that's not a big deal. But the longer these feathers are, these barbs are, the better it is for the length of the hook. I think I can get one more wrap here. Pull that down and get this right like so, and just start wrapping it. Because you need to lock all the barbs in, otherwise the same thing will happen to you, what just happened to me. Now, very carefully, you trim this excess off without trimming your thread, without cutting that. So I'm going to pull that thread back. Hopefully that will avoid cutting it. Okay, I've got peacock herl here. Let's see, what have I got? I think there's 7 pieces here. This we want for the thorax part. I'm taking this one out because that's short. That's too short. So we tie this in up at the front here, right where we left off with the other. We're going to tie that in right here. And we're going to trim off this excess. Pull that forward a little bit. Now this copper wire, you want to counter. If you wrapped away from you, then what you want to do is wrap this one toward you. This will lock in that pheasant tail, those pheasant tail barbs, so when a fish strikes, it's not going to tear it all up. Then you just secure that down with a couple wraps here, like so. And that you can, okay, we're peacock curl, pull back here. This, because it's such a fine wire, you could probably just twist it off. Usually that will work. But I guess I'm going to just, to save some time, I'm just going to snip it with the... Now with the peacock curl, keep holding that back, like so. In fact, let's pull it down a little bit because I want to take more of these barbs. We want a substantial amount here because this is going to be the wing case. So I take and pull these down, get a good amount, hold them. Cut these off. Right close to the quill of the feather. Try to get them as even as you possibly can. If you have to, you might want to trim just a hair bit just to make them even. See, I don't have them quite even, so I'm just going to trim it, make them even. And you're going to tie this on here, like so. Bring that forward. Now you're going to take this peacock curl and you're going to wrap it. One right after the other, just as close as you could get them. You want to build it up a little bit because you kind of want that to be dominant. Quite noticeable on the fly. And then we're going to tie that in. Trim off the excess. Couple more wraps, just to be on the safe side. And then this here, your wing case, you're going to bring forward, right over top of that peacock herl like so, and you're going to just wrap it. Try to lock it in. And now I will take a couple wraps in front and try to pull these down so it looks like legs. Now you might want to take and hold one side, and then hold the other side and do the same thing, kind of like a figure 8 on it. Now they kind of look like legs right there. I don't want them that long, so I will trim them off. Now you just take and build up that head. Which is just wrapping and wrapping and wrapping. So that this bead stays nice and tight there. And then whip finish it. So I'll get my whip finisher. Where is that? That's right here. I'm going to hook this on and up, and we're just going to start going around. Snip off your line. And then put a little head cement. Now because I have a bead on this, I won't put anything in the eye. Normally if there was not a bead on it, I would take a bodkin and I would stick that in the eye. I'd stick that in the eye so that when I put this head cement on, and this is just hard as nails head cement. So I'm sure you can use it. Actually, it's hard as hull, but it's like fingernail polish, a clear fingernail polish. I'm sure you can use that. The hard as nails fingernail polish comes in. This comes in a applicator just like the fingernail polish does. So it's got the brush on it. So I've just taken, put a little on here just to set those threads so they don't rip off. They don't come unraveled or whatever. Like I said, if I didn't have this head on here, this bead head, this bead head right here, I would be using this bodkin just to stick in the eye of the hook to keep the cement from going in there, because I've many times have gone out to try and put a fly on my line, and I can't get the line through the eye because there's head cement, it's sealed. So that's my little secret. Hope you enjoyed this video. This is what it actually looks like. It's got its legs right down here. It looks like legs. I think I'll trim them just a hair bit more. I don't want them all the same length. So when that's swimming in the water, trout should mistake this for one of those nymphs that are on the bottom. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, thanks for watching. Bye.